So writing an interpretive essay. So when you are writing an interpretive essay, basically you are identifying themes in the text which is assigned to you. So remember once again how to read a literary text. Can anybody quickly tell me what are the 3 levels of reading a literary text?
Yes, sir. Sir, reading one, reading two, and reading
Very good.
three.
Excellent. Okay, that is enough. Yeah, that is what I
Okay.
wanted you to recall. So you have to apply that in any case, right? So after you have done these 3 levels of reading, you should be in a position to identify the themes in the text. Once again, the themes do not come from outside the text, they emerge out of the text. So you read the text and you analyze the literary elements in that particular text. By literary elements, we mean you pay attention to the kind of characterization which is there, and you also notice what kind of plot is there and how the plot is developing. You also pay attention to the symbols. What do they stand for in the given context? And you also pay attention to the setting. So depending upon the kind of text you are dealing with, you might have all of these things in it. You might have 1 or 2 things in it. Okay, but these are not the only literary elements. The literary elements in poetry are a little different from the literary elements in drama and fiction. Now, it is definitely uh, not only possible, but it is always the case. There are more than one themes in the literary text that we come across. As an example, we can think of Andres' Mother, the play that we read in the last class. Can you recall some of the themes that we identified in that text? Students, what were the themes in Andres' Mother, the text that we read yesterday in the previous class?
Sir,
Sir, one of the
sexual. Okay, you go ahead first.
go for it, Isaac.
Okay. Sexual preferences.
All right, go on. Other person, who else was speaking?
Sir, the other thing was to live life to its fullest and have no regrets.
Yeah,
Morality.
yeah, yeah, morality. Okay, good. All right. Human relationships, right? Um, what about,
Disappointment.
yeah, if it is more mother's, from mother's perspective, right? It can come under mother-son relationship too. Okay.
So
And yeah,
death,
death. Yeah, good. And what else? What what did the balloon stand for?
Soul.
Yeah, soul.
Earthly connection.
Oh,
Earthly connections
yeah,
to the world
yeah,
and letting go of the soul.
right. So transitory, the temporary connection that we have with this earth, okay, via our souls. So as long as souls are there, the connection is there, right? As soon as souls are gone, the connection is gone, right? So the earthly connection, or the connection that we have, the temporary connection that we have. So the temporariness of life or transitoriness of life. Okay. So these are all themes, but mind it, you must be able to explain each of these themes with reference to one literary element in the text or the other. So basically, because you are dealing with a literary text, and I hope by this stage of the semester you know what a literary text is, because we are dealing with the literary text, therefore, for all themes that you draw out of the text, they must come from the literary elements. So you should be able to tell that this literary element in the text makes you think of this particular theme. So you might say this particular theme is based upon the character or the plot or a symbol makes you think of that, or the setting makes you think of that, or the rhyme scheme of the poem makes you think of that, or the images make you think of that, something of some one literary element or the other. You should be able to relate that theme with one literary element or the other. So all the literary elements that you need to be aware of, they are in the readings that I have shared with you. Okay, we have not discussed all of them in class, but all of them are over there. So I'll strongly suggest you to pay attention to the reading that we did after the break. Okay, um, you will find all the literary elements explained over there. All right. So the first thing that you are doing in writing the interpretative essay is to complete 3 levels of reading, so that in your notes you should be able to write down the themes of the text. You can write them down in MS Word or in handwriting, whatever we like, but you should be able to write down the themes. How many themes? It depends what is the length of the essay you are supposed to write. So for example, if I'm asking you to write an essay of 2000 words, okay, you might try to draw as many themes as it is possible for you, because it is going to be an essay of reasonable length. Okay, so you might think in terms of writing, drawing out at least 4 to 5 themes, okay, so that you should be able to meet the word limit. Okay, now once you have your themes in front of you, so you people just spoke the themes for Andre's mother. Okay, uh, your next job is to consolidate all those themes into a thesis statement, or synthesize all those themes into a thesis statement. Now, what does that mean? That means that after you have understood the text and you are able to look at the major themes in it, you must not forget that at the end of the day, the whole text is just one piece of writing written by one writer around one major umbrella theme. So you should be able to identify how can you connect all those themes together. You will be able to connect all those themes together by framing a thesis statement. Now, the thesis statement that you will think will become the thesis statement of your interpretative essay. But you have to think of a thesis statement which accommodates, which sums up or accommodates or kind of unifies all those themes together. We'll talk a little more about it later. Now, when you are writing your interpretive essay, remember that you are not summarizing the essay. You are not summarizing the text. You're not writing a summary of the text. Rather, you are interpreting a text. What is the interpretation of the text? The interpretation of the text is actually your position about the text. And your position about the text is something which is not obviously stated in the text, but which you can convincingly draw out of the text. It is not obviously stated in the text. So once again, if you think of Andre's mother, most of the themes that we are talking about, they are not obviously stated in the text. So for example, the transitoriness of life, the temporary life, That is a theme that we draw out of the symbol of balloon in the text. So our life is as tied to the earth as balloon is tied to the earth with the thread. Okay. So as soon as the thread is cut off, everything is gone. That is what our life is, right? Now, nowhere in the play this theme has been stated like this. Rather, it is our position, it is our understanding, or it is our interpretation of the text. All right. So when you are writing a thesis statement, you are not thinking in terms of writing a summary of the play. So don't try to think of a statement which should summarize the whole text. Rather, think of a statement which provides your position or your interpretation of the text, your position about the text. All right. Let's move on. You will be able to make more sense of it. Now, after you have your thesis statement with you, which, as I said, should be an umbrella term, which can connect all the sub-themes together, you need to think of the paragraphs. Now, the paragraphs that you write in your interpretative essay are, in fact, the themes. You take one theme at one time and explain that with reference to the relevant literary element in the text. While you take each theme for further discussion and explanation, remember that each of those themes is there to reinforce your thesis statement. Therefore, when you write each paragraph based upon each theme, each paragraph should begin with a topic sentence. And the topic sentence should be such that it should be referring to the broader thesis statement of the interpretative essay. If you take care of this thing, that you write each paragraph based upon a theme in such a manner that its topic sentence reinforces your thesis statement, your broader thesis statement, you would be able to write your interpretation in a very logical manner. So those paragraphs that you write, they shouldn't appear isolated. They shouldn't appear cut off from the thesis statement, right? So all the paragraphs that you write, they should be there to reinforce your primary thesis statement. Now, it is very important that when you are writing those paragraphs and you are producing the themes, you are explaining the themes, you should be able to support your interpretation or your explanation with the evidence from the text, with the examples from the text.